working, and then you try to contain that. When, you know, and Trump is actually doing the opposite. He's trying to keep a lid on the thing before and do what you say, keep everybody from running to the stores and running to the banks and, you know, God knows what else they're trying to do.
And drinking all the gasoline up in cans and everything else. Another thing was Trump came out yesterday, and you probably remember, Jeff, we talked about this months ago, how...
Just leave me out.
No, how the president has been, you know, why the manufacturing was wanting to come back here, because he was out there cheerleading for it.
Right.
You know, he was saying, yeah, the economy's good, come back to America. We want to work. We want to work with the corporations. We want to have a fair tax with you. Please come back. In other words, he became the cheerleader for the country, something you never heard Obama did.
Right.
It was, oh, those jobs are gone. You have to realize we're no longer a manufacturing a nation, and forget about those coming back. But here's what Trump said yesterday.
The fact is, I'm a cheerleader for this country. I love our country, and I don't want people to be frightened. I don't want to create panic, as you say. And certainly I'm not going to drive this country or the world into a frenzy. We want to show confidence. We want to show strength. We want to show strength as a nation. And that's what I've done, and we've done very well.
That's the formula for a good economy, right there.
Hey, the business of America is business. And, you know, if you keep people employed and you keep people, you know, at least a level of respectability in their household and income, et cetera, then, you know, you can move forward with this thing. Under Obama, you know, letting everybody head out the country and, you know, send everything to Mexico and China, you know, people out of jobs, et cetera. And Trump brought those back. And now the Democrats are actually sitting there lying about it, trying to say that Trump is actually forcing industry out of America. I mean, it's upside down, and people, you know, the media just lets them get away with Biden and Obama and these people saying this, and it's an absolute lie. It's 100%. It's world turned upside down. That's exactly what it is.
Yes, the potential Joe Biden tax they're just going to throw in business that will chase them out.
Yeah,
and they'll leave before he takes office.
We just got him back. You know, it took Trump, what, less than a year, just about a year and a half to get so much of that back. And now you'll turn it around and allow Biden to chase it out of here in less than a year.
This old phrase of theirs, I want them to pay their fair share. Well, they don't pay any share, Joe.
Yeah.
As soon as you Democrats realize corporations don't pay any taxes, the better off we'll all be. It's passed on to the customer.
It's all passed through.
Yeah, so it's just a backdoor tax to your hip pocket. That means this sweater you paid $10 for today is now going to cost you $15 tomorrow.
That's why John's got to pay $80,000 for his pickup truck and $30,000 for the Harley in the back.
He's got a better Harley than that.
Yeah, I wouldn't have anything like that.
Oh, okay.
Hey, I just
almost said Honda.
Oh my goodness! No.
That would be fighting words.
No. I just got another text from a lady, and it says, I have no idea what my advanced placement student's supposed to do, because this is what the child's teacher sent. I post assignments the morning before each class. I generally don't have specific assignments ahead of time. And that's kind of what we're facing here.
Right.
That kind of thing. And then I got another text from someone.
What, the communication specialist over there at the school board can't get them the information? Is that the problem? It's $100,000 a year. I don't know squat.
I don't want to say anything because I like her, and I saw her driving in the left lane today, and I sure don't want to set you off on that. But
get over.
I got another.
You're not smart enough to do that either. Get out of the left lane if you're not passing.
I like her. I can't help it. I got another text from a guy who said a friend of his near Pittsburgh, their 13-year-old son got a ballot in the mail, partially filled out.
Yes. Yep.
You know about that.
Yep.
Okay.
Partially filled out.
Yes.
Partially filled out, yeah.
Where was this?
Near Pittsburgh. Do you know more? Yeah.
There's just entities out there that are filling out these ballots, and they're mailing them.
When they say partially filled out, did it have their name on? Is that the partial?
No, I mean, that's all I know. That's all I've got.
Usually it's name and address and et cetera. You know, obviously they're not going to have the selections done for you, but all the rest of the information will be filled in there for you.
Well, if it's your name, address, and all that, I can.
No.
That you requested a ballot.
I don't know what they partially filled out, but from the way this was written, it's my impression that it's more than what should have been.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also a 13-year-old boy that it was mailed to. So.
Oh, great.
Yeah, that's all this harvesting stuff. They, didn't we just jail a guy for doing that, for ballot harvesting? And now that's exactly what the Dems are going to do. You know, there was a Republican who was the guy? It was here in North Carolina.
I know who you mean.
We convicted one in Moore County that voted in Florida and here.
Are you talking about the pastor?
I'm talking about the ballot harvesting that was done in the last primary or whatever. And, they went around and picked up these ballots, et cetera, and got them submitted.
Someone will send that name before we go off here. Mark Harris.
Yeah, Mark Harris, right. Yeah, he is a pastor. Yeah, you're right.
And I think he's a good man, but he had hired the wrong company, and so he.
Well, that's what the Democrats are doing, and he did it. He's a Republican, so he got nailed for it.
And you know what? He should have been nailed, even though he's a Republican. He made a bad decision. He hired the wrong company. His son warned him, and I'm sorry, but that's the way we hold ourselves accountable.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know all the specifics of that particular thing. But
I want to remind you, next hour, next at 8:30, we'll have Richard Hudson on here via telephone. He's got 2 events here in Moore County today. I don't know what it is about these politicians. They don't like getting up early.
Well, it's pretty early for them.
He's got a 10 o'clock appointment. He don't want to get up early to be here at 8:30.
They do most of their work after midnight. That's why.
But finishing things out, we always try to cheer the Colonel up every morning by playing the best of late night Uni
Oh,
Boys.
yes, let's cheer the Colonel up. Never mind John. As long as the Colonel's happy, that's all we care about.
Well, did you have something else?
No, but he knit you a hat, and I'm out the window.
Well, he missed Apple Fritter Day, didn't he?
Yeah.
Well, from the looks of the one you got, I better start on one.
Man, huge.
All right, this is the best of late night boys. The trick is to see if it brings a laugh to
the Colonel.
To the Colonel or you. Yesterday it failed.
Producers of Jeopardy have announced that the show will return with new episodes next week with host Alex Trebek. Oh, I know this one. What is the one good thing that has happened in 2020?
This week, Grey's Anatomy will begin filming its 17th season. Yeah. The big change is that now Grey's Anatomy is named after the cast's hair color.
Health officials in Los Angeles have banned trick-or-treating this year due to the coronavirus pandemic. So if you want to wear a mask and get candy from a stranger, you'll just have to go to the grocery store.
That was better than yesterday.
Yeah, they were a lot better than yesterday. Somebody actually.
Well, when they stay off the politics, they can actually find something funny to make a point about.
Yeah. Let's see. You want to say something?
I was wondering. I've never been able to figure out your time thing over there.
Well, we're going to 5920 this hour.
I was going to tell people, you ought to see Steve. He's got like $18 million worth of electronic equipment in here.
No.
Computers everywhere. and he takes
17.
his notes on these rolled up used pink stickies. Same thing I used to do in my office.
This is World War I communications.
See? Now you're being nice to the Colonel. See how he treats you? Yeah, that's right.
It's got a wire and a tin can here.
Now see
They're
what
sitting around talking in state-of-the-art microphones. That one there costs about $750.
That's
That
the
one
one I'm
there
on.
costs $600. This one costs about $900.
So in other words, mine costs $150 more than yours did, Colonel.
Oh,
Hey, like that.
there you go.
Hurts, doesn't it?
Well, that's just the one he sat down at. All right, currently here in the
good for
Sand
him.
Hills area, we're looking at cloudy skies, 73 degrees. Your full forecast is on the way, followed by all the news, and we'll be back on the backside.
Good morning and happy Thursday. We're starting off rather cloudy and with some patchy mist around the area this morning. This afternoon, we'll see scattered showers and thunderstorms mainly off and on through the afternoon and evening today. Highs will be in the low to mid-80s. Chance of showers overnight tonight or in the low to mid-70s for Friday morning. Friday afternoon, showers likely once again, mainly scattered in nature, and highs also in the low to mid-80s. I'm meteorologist Zach Malak in the Weather Center.
Broadcasting from the top of the North Carolina Sand Hills, 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM, WEEB, Southern Pines, Pinehurst, Aberdeen.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Wildfires continue to rage across wide areas of California, Oregon, and Washington state.
A wildfire that had been burning for 3 weeks in Northern California roared out of control, pushed along by high winds as it burned countless homes along a 25-mile stretch of mountain and foothills in just 24 hours. In normally cool and damp Oregon and Washington state, wildfires in areas never touched before, leading to several deaths and hundreds of homes burned. Marion County, Oregon Sheriff Joe Cass fears they will find more victims.
We know that the people of Marion County will come together and will help each other and will provide support to each other. That's one of the things we do, and especially up the canyon. That's one of the benefits of living up there, is knowing your neighbors and helping your neighbors.
That report from correspondent Tim McGuire. Several U.S. senators among those on President Trump's new list of potential Supreme Court nominees.
As he did in 2016, the president has promised to select from a list of potential nominees. Senators Cruz, Hawley, and Cotton are also among his staunchest allies on Capitol Hill. In at least one, Hawley says he has no interest in changing jobs. Senator Tom Cotton has been one of the president's strongest law and order allies during the recent protests. He seems to suggest an interest in the court when he tweets, "It's time for Roe versus Wade to go," a reference to the landmark ruling that legalized abortion on demand in 1973. Bob Agnew reporting.
Senate Democrats expected to block a $500 million COVID-19 relief bill authored by Republicans, a measure due to come up for a test vote later today. Indoor dining set to make a comeback in New York City. Restaurants will be allowed to resume indoor service at month's end, albeit with certain restrictions, capacity limited to 25%, and there will be temperature checks at the door, among other requirements. Wall Street, Dow futures down 92 points, NASDAQ futures 21 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Relief Factor, pain relief that's natural, pain relief that works, and pain relief that attacks the source of the pain. That's the experience of tens of thousands of Americans who are taking Relief Factor right now. See their incredible video endorsements at relieffactor.com, and then order your 3-week quick starter pack for just $19.95. That's less than $1 a day. Find out if it can work for you like it works for me by ordering your 3-week quick starter pack today. Relieffactor.com, relieffactor.com. Be the next success story.
God's Word is power, and we need to be in His Word every day gaining wisdom. God is very patient, but because of our immoral society, we are drowning in debt, have poor public education, and corruption all around us. Our founders would be horrified at what the Democratic agenda has become. With the right and left fighting each other, they get none of the work done. Please go to profittoamerica.com. We're going to lose America. You can't remain silent. That's profittoamerica.com.
A renowned South African anti-apartheid attorney has died.
As a lawyer, George Bezos represented many high-profile political activists, including Nelson Mandela. He was part of the team of lawyers at the Rivonia trial, which saw Mr. Mandela and other top ANC colleagues sentenced to life imprisonment in 1964. South Africa's President, Cyril Ramaphosa, said it was a very sad moment for the country, that Mr. Bezos would be sorely missed, but that South Africa would forever remember his contribution to democracy.
The BBC's Namsa Maseko says George Bezos was 92 years old. China says the U.S. move to revoke the visas of about 1,000 Chinese students amounts to outright political persecution and racial discrimination. Chinese grad students and researchers have ties to the Chinese military. Trump administration concerned about the security of sensitive U.S. research. News and analysis, townhall.com. A university taken to task for its segregationist practices.
The University of Michigan Dearborn is apologizing for creating segregated online student cafes that it says were intended to promote discussions about race and diversity. The virtual cafe events were held Tuesday. One was advertised as being non-POC cafe, meaning for non-people of color. The other was called Biopic Cafe for Black, Indigenous, and people of color, and was described as a space for marginalized racial, ethnic, cultural communities to gather and discuss their experience as students on campus and in the world. The university says the online gatherings weren't intended to be exclusive or exclusionary. I'm Mike Gracia.
A huge fire has erupted at the port of Beirut, panicking residents traumatized by last month's massive explosion and fire that killed and injured thousands of people and devastated the Lebanese capital. More on these stories at townhall.com.
We're proud to be working with our local businesses for the greatest comeback of all time.
Come together.
With Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM. WEEB.
Try Zaxby's Cobb Salad, crafted with carrots, Roma tomatoes, cucumbers, crispy bacon, hard-boiled eggs, fried onions, and your choice of grilled or fried chicken. Or try Zaxby's Blue Salad, topped with blue cheese crumbles, zesty fried onions, and your choice of buffaloed or blackened chicken. Both served with a hot and buttery piece of Texas toast. Zaxby's. Friends, family, flavor. Located in Southern Pines off Highway 15501 in front of the Holiday Inn.
At Sand Hills Collision Center in Seven Lakes, we proudly serve all your automotive repair, auto body restoration, and collision repair needs. With our brand new state-of-the-art cheap straightening system and eco-friendly AmeriCure paint booth, you can rest assured that your vehicle, boat, or RV will receive top-notch repair and flawless paint jobs. And for all you aviators, we do aircraft body repair too. Sand Hills Collision Repair Center is veteran-owned and offers a 5% discount to our military family. We give free estimate and accept all insurance and self-pay. All our ATECs will provide superior customer service from start to finish because we are committed to quality and prompt expert service. Bring your automobile, boat, or RV by today for a free quote at 135 Village View Drive in Seven Lakes. That's just 2 minutes from the Food Lion on Seven Lakes Drive. Or call us at 910-673-AUTO. That's 673-AUTO. Sand Hills Collision Center, because you deserve the best.
Jared Kirk and Amy McBride of the First Casualty Insurance Group in Southern Pines talk about the benefits of being an FCIG customer.
Our agency has been in business since 1984. We are an independent agency, which means that we have numerous carriers. Having multiple carriers benefits our customers because it offers them more options for their coverage and price.
One of the most asked questions we get from our clients is how much do they need to insure their home for? Many clients think they should insure their home based on tax value or what they could sell their home for. Neither is correct.
Insurance carriers want to insure your home for the replacement value. Replacement value is what it would take to rebuild your home back to its current state in the event of a complete loss.
First Casualty Insurance Group of Southern Pines. Call them today at 910-692-8303 or find them on the web at fcignc.com.
Duke plays here.
To the pylon! Touchdown! What? And it's scooped up by the Blue Devils! Hit! 5! Touchdown!
We have you covered all season long for the excitement of Blue Devil football.
Delayed handoff, not gonna work! Wow, what a hit in the backfield! Bat it down! Duke wins it!
On your home for Duke football.
97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM. WEEB. We've got you by the ears.
Men over 45, do you have frequent urination, an urgent need to go, weak flow, a feeling the bladder is not completely empty? Do you suffer with an enlarged prostate or BPH? Want to avoid the side effects of BPH medication and invasive surgeries? How? The UroLift system, a minimally invasive approach to treating enlarged prostate with no cutting, heating, or removal of prostate tissue. Imagine an outpatient procedure with minimal downtime, rapid symptom relief, all while preserving sexual function. Find out if the UroLift system is right for you. Call and set an appointment today with one of our urologists at Pinehurst Surgical. Call 910-947-5823. 910-947-5823. Call and find out if the UroLift system is right for you. Common side effects typically resolve within 2 to 4 weeks and may include some pain or discomfort in the pelvis or when urinating and an increased urge to go. Call 910-947-5823.
NCN News. I'm Mike Rayleigh. No charges will be filed against a Roxborough police officer who shot and killed an armed man in July. District Attorney Mike Waters says the officer who shot and killed David Brooks Jr. on July 24th would not face criminal charges.
The most important thing we looked at was the in-car camera, and particularly a view that was enhanced by the state crime lab.
President Trump is under fire this morning after it was revealed that he talked in private about how deadly the coronavirus was last February, even as he was declaring to America that it was no worse than the flu. That according to a new book by journalist Bob Woodward. Correspondent Ben Tracy reports.
The bombshell book titled Rage, published by Simon & Schuster, a division of Viacom CBS, is based in part on 18 on-the-record interviews the legendary journalist conducted with the president between December and July, apparently recorded with his knowledge.
Whether it's folks who don't trust the mail and turn in their absentee ballots in person or the influx of voters on Election Day, election officials in Henderson and Transylvania County say they are well prepared to keep voters safe. Transylvania County Board of Elections Director Jeff Story tells WLOS.
Workers will have masks, gloves, face shields. We also have social distancing markers. We are implementing larger places for like early voting and some sites on Election Day.
Police say a man has died after jumping out of a car. Goldsboro police say 35-year-old Michael Pridgeon Jr. of Mount Olive jumped out of a car after getting in an argument with a driver. Ronald Bell, a co-founder, singer, and producer of the group Kool and the Gang, has died. He was 68. In a 2008 interview, Bell said Celebration was his favorite song.
First of all, I had no clue. I was clueless, thinking that was going to be a hit. I had no idea.
You're listening to NCN News.
And now a message from Barry Zeckelman, Chairman and CEO of Zeckelman Industries.
Dear America, let's manufacture a better future. Let's get back to looking for made in America on the things we buy. Let's bring back domestic manufacturing. Let's build the factories, warehouses, and businesses that build community. Might jumpstart the career of a recent grad, provides the family down the street with a decent paycheck and real benefits, the kind that benefit us all. Did you know that every job in manufacturing creates 5 more in related businesses? Let's give our economy a shot in the arm, and let's take care of the environment while we're at it. Factories in this country are built to the highest standards and are the cleanest, greenest, and safest in the world. Join the conversation. It's happening all around us. Let's take care of each other. Let's make it here. Let's make it made in America.
Zeckelman Industries is a family-owned, 100% domestic manufacturing company. Makers of innovative steel structures and products that lets the water flow, keeps the lights on, and help builders build. Zeckelman.com.
This year, more than ever, health experts are recommending that people get their flu shots this year, even as early as now. Kathy Fisher, who is manager of infection prevention at Carolina East Medical Center, tells WCTI.
It's quite possible if we have influenza's peak at the same time that COVID does, that we could have a huge increase in hospitalizations.
The NFL season begins tonight with the Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs hosting the Houston Texans. It will be the first NFL game played since the Super Bowl, as no preseason games have been played due to the coronavirus. CBS's Jim Crisula.
The Houston Texans will travel to play the defending Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. Jamie Houle is a sports psychologist at The Ohio State University.
You look at the NFL and you see them spending lots and lots of money to be able to test those guys so they can get out on the field and play, and if it's one game or multiple games, helps us handle the uncertainty that we're all facing these days.
Some 17,000 fans will be at the game at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. The Chiefs are one of the few NFL teams allowing a limited number of fans.
A veteran Raleigh police detective is off the job while the department and the Wake County District Attorney investigate more than a dozen fraudulent drug cases. A much-beloved British soap opera is back on the air.
Everyone in Britain knows this theme tune. EastEnders is back after a 3-month transmission break. Action! The working-class Londoners it depicts, making a nod to COVID.
Don't want to step up, come on.
You have been.
But you're the one bringing in the Reddies.
Yeah, and you're the one who's been homeschooling Ollie. But the producers have revealed the mood will turn darker, with one character destined to become a victim of the domestic violence that has intensified under lockdown on both sides of the Atlantic, as it has since its inception in 1985. EastEnders using art to mirror the realities of British society. Vicky Barker, CBS News, London.
Mike Rayleigh, NCN News.
Your Thursday afternoon forecast involves a mostly cloudy sky with scattered showers and thunderstorms thunderstorms off and on across the area this afternoon and continuing this evening. Highs today in the low to mid-80s. Slight chance of showers overnight tonight or in the low 70s for Friday morning. Friday afternoon, scattered showers likely once again, and high temperatures also in the low to mid-80s. Rain chances with us through this upcoming weekend. I'm meteorologist Zach Malak in the Weather Center.
Right now, here in the Sand Hills area, we're looking at cloudy skies and 74 degrees. Also some fog in the area, so headlights on. Humidity 97%, dew point 73, pressure is 30 to 18, winds north of 5. Visibility is at 3 statute miles. It's 8:15. Let's take a quick look at your Sand Hills news for this Thursday morning. Moore County officials have approved the offer from Pathfinder Investment Management, LLC, for the site of the old Aberdeen Elementary School on U.S. Highway 1. Officials reached their decision after the closing of an upset bid process August 31st. No upset bid offers were received during the associated 10-day period, which began August 21st. Pathfinder would pay $1.5 million. Under the terms of the offer, the firm already paid the required $75,000 deposit to open the upset bid window. And a single occupant vehicle veered off of U.S. Highway 1 northbound just past the Pennsylvania on-ramp in Southern Pines Wednesday afternoon. The male driver veered into the grass and went approximately 75 feet before rolling over onto the car's right side in a drainage ditch. The northbound right lane was closed while Southern Pines Fire Department rescued the driver from the burning car that started in the engine bay. Firefighters quickly had the fires extinguished and the driver escorted to safety. The driver declined medical assistance and was escorted from the scene to a Southern Pines police vehicle for further questioning. That's your WEEB local news this morning from the Sand Hills Sentinel. And, of course, you can go online to sandhillsentinel.com for more information. It is 8:17. Sports is next. Here on Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB.
NCN Sports, I'm Jeff Hamlin. A 10-year association between the Carolina Hurricanes and the Charlotte Checkers for Charlotte to be the Canes' top minor league affiliate officially came to an end earlier this year. It is expected that today the Canes will have a new top minor league affiliate announced. The Checkers will continue to play in the American Hockey League. It's possible that the Chicago Wolves could be the Canes' new top American Hockey League affiliate. Moving on to the NBA playoffs. Last night, the Toronto Raptors beat the Boston Celtics in a classic double overtime battle, 125-122 to even their best-of-7 Eastern Conference semifinal series at 3 games apiece. Game 7 Friday night, Kyle Lowry, 33 points in a victory for the Raptors. The Los Angeles Clippers now have a 3-1 lead against the Denver Nuggets in their Western Conference semifinal series. The Clippers defeated Denver 96-85. Kawhi Leonard, 30 points and 11 rebounds. In college basketball, there's a possibility that all Division I programs could participate in next spring's NCAA men's basketball tournament. Duke men's basketball coach Mike Krzyzewski among several ACC coaches who are supporting that idea. Numerous league schools and coaches released statements on Wednesday about the proposal. The Duke football team gearing up to face number 10 Notre Dame in South Bend. It was not the opener that Duke was expecting, but COVID-19 changed things. Duke coach David Cutcliffe says he's looking forward to it.
I think that helped us realizing how big a challenge that is. I think it really did infuse some energy into our camp and into the preseason work and practices.
You're listening to Sports from NCN.
As a judge on the Court of Appeals, Chris Dillon applies the law fairly. He faithfully upholds the law with a reasoned approach that shows an appreciation for your property rights and individual liberty. Judge Dillon leads his fellow appellate judges to unbiased, equitable, and nonpartisan decisions. This November, vote Judge Chris Dillon for the North Carolina Court of Appeals. Paid for by the North Carolina Property Rights Fund.
Watch UNC TV Thursday night at 7 p.m. for North Carolina Broadcast Legends, when our guest will be Dr. James Carson. Dr. Carson applied for the license for a radio station in Fayetteville in a hard-fought battle to become the most successful minority broadcast owner in our state. Broadcast trailblazer Dr. James Carson on the next edition of North Carolina Broadcast Legends, Thursday night at 7 p.m. on UNC TV.
In the Stanley Cup playoffs, the Tampa Bay Lightning get the game-winning goal from Nikita Kucherov with only 8.8 seconds remaining. Tampa Bay beats the New York Islanders 2-1 to win Game 2 of their Eastern Conference Final Series. Tampa now leads that series 2-0. The Atlanta Braves threatened to blow out every fuse on the SunTrust scoreboard last night. The Braves belted 7 home runs and set the franchise record by scoring 29 runs in a 29-9 wipeout of the Miami Marlins. The Braves had 23 hits, Adam Duvall with 3 home runs. In the NFL, the Carolina Panthers could be without starting left guard Dennis Daly for their season opener Sunday against Las Vegas and Charlotte. Michael Schofield will get the start if Daly can't play. That's sports. I'm Jeff Hamlin on NCN.
The greatest comeback of all time is underway. Remember to shop local businesses. A reminder from Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM. WEEB.
My name is Tony Keith of Keith Hardware in Carthage, North Carolina. I'm the 3rd generation of a family-owned business. We've been in business for 83 years. We sell live bait, crickets, minnows, and worms, fishing tackle, nuts and bolts and screws by the piece. You can still come in and get nails weighed out by the pound, or 1s or 2s, however you'd like.
The guys, they know what they're doing. You don't have to ask for service. You tell them what you need. If they ain't got it, usually they can conjure it up.
Keith Hardware has been a tradition in this town for as long as I've been in business, 42 years, and they run a good business and they're good people.
I came in with 2 pieces of plumbing. I handed it to this guy, and he took off the back and picked it up and brought it back. Their knowledge is invaluable to me.
With Keith Hardware for 28 years. I rent the building from them next door. And Tony and Ginger are doing an excellent job. I'm proud of them.
Come visit Keith Hardware today at 207 Monroe Street in Carthage.
We're just an old-fashioned hardware store.
Forget what you know about carpet. Aberdeen Carpet and Flooring has Valera high-performance carpet by Shaw Floors. Designed for beauty and high performance, this carpet is like no other. From top to bottom, Valera is built for protection, making cleanup a breeze, and will stay beautiful in your home for many years to come. Come see us at Aberdeen Carpet and Flooring today. We're located at 2314 Highway 5 near Habitat for Humanity. Open 9 to 4 Monday through Saturday. Go online to aberdeencarpet.com or visit us on Facebook for more information. Then call 910-944-6204 to schedule your free estimate.
Home Choice Network is a licensed, locally owned and operated home care agency that's been providing independence for seniors and peace of mind for families since 2003.
They just are wonderful.
Caring, dependable, good attitude.
A lifesaver for me.
Somebody is here every day with him that cares about him. It shows.
They're all good. They're all wonderful. They're not just good, they're wonderful.
Call today for a free consultation, 910-944-1116.
And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free.
Pride Plumbing is proud to serve Moore County with superior workmanship and dependable plumbing service, including 24/7 emergency service. Like the name says, we take pride in our work and your safety. Our employees must pass background and drug tests and share Pride Plumbing's reputation for quality service. From simple leaky faucets to new water heaters and sewer lines, backflow testing and installation, drain cleaning, plumbing repairs, and, if necessary, replacement and remodeling. A family business with over 50 years of prideful service. Go online to callprideplumbing.com and check out our 5-star customer reviews. We offer a 10% discount to all veterans and active military. Call Pride Plumbing of Moore County at 910-295-0152. 910-295-0152. Serving with pride since 1965.
Serving more people, more places, 24/7. If your AC breaks down, we'll restore your indoor heaven. Installation or repair, one call, we'll be there. It's your family, don't delay. Comfort's just a call away. We're Comfort Services. Comfort
Comfort Services is now offering gas logs, including installation and service. Their showroom is open by appointment. Just call 910-695-2665. Locally owned since 2003, Comfort Services is nationally certified and a Carrier Energy Expert dealer with highly qualified technicians. If you are interested in gas logs for your home, call Comfort Services for an appointment at 910-695-2665. Located on Highway 5 next to Habitat in Aberdeen.
Comfort's just a call away. Comfort Services.
At Pool Automotive, being local and family-owned isn't just a title. It's the lifeblood of our business. The moment you walk into our Aberdeen showroom, you'll be treated like family. You see, we believe that all our guests deserve quality, reliable used vehicles, and we have the inventory and finance options to make it happen. When you buy a new vehicle, the second you drive it off the lot, it's already depreciated by thousands. Before you throw that money away, come to Pool Automotive and check out our huge selection of premium vehicles. We have high-quality, off-lease vehicles, most of which are one-owner cars with low mileage and remaining factory warranties. Something else we do to save you even more? We don't charge documentation fees. Yep, you heard us right. No doc fees here. Come in today, 500 South Sandhills Boulevard in Aberdeen, or call 910-637-0057 and experience the Pool Advantage.
As our economy gradually reopens, remember to support local.
Know you're doing the right thing and stay proud.
Be a part of the greatest comeback of all time with Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM. WEEB.
The Zumwalt Zone is brought to you by Quality Built Homes, the Sandhills' #1 home builder, developer, and remodeler. With over 1,500 homes built in Moore County, we earn our name every day. Quality Built Homes, 910-944-7453.
Hello, I'm John Zumwalt, and you're in the Zumwalt Zone. You know, we had some bad kids back in the 60s when I was in high school. From time to time, a kid would get suspended, but I can honestly tell you, I have never heard of a kid getting in trouble like this guy. Honestly, with his attitude, I don't think he should even be referred to as a kid. You have to admit, it's hard to make the news these days for being a troublemaker. But a New York student, Maverick Stowe, did. Thank goodness police were on hand. You know what he did? He attended school in person on his scheduled remote learning day, and his parents support this little juvenile delinquent. They said he's a very smart kid, he knows what he's doing, and when he said he wanted to handle things, we were like, go for it. So when he came to school, he was suspended for 5 days for the offense of coming to school. Police were called. They issued a statement saying, Suffolk County Police responded to William Floyd High School after a report that a student showed up to class when he was not scheduled to. They didn't mention anything about the crime of a participle that was left dangling. As a kid, I had my flaws, but I never came close to getting in trouble for RT. RT, that's a new legal term. It stands for reverse truancy. Okay, it's not a legal term yet, but I bet it will be one day because everything is reversed or upside down. Have you noticed that at all? Have you noticed what a crazy world that we seem to be living in? I hope you start paying attention. It gets worse and worse every day. I notice in the Zumwalt Zone.
Good morning and happy Thursday. We're starting off rather cloudy and with some patchy mist around the area this morning. This afternoon we'll see scattered showers and thunderstorms mainly off and on through the afternoon and evening today. Highs will be in the low to mid 80s. Chance of showers overnight tonight or in the low to mid 70s for Friday morning. Friday afternoon, showers likely once again, mainly scattered in nature, and highs also in the low to mid 80s. I'm meteorologist Zach Malak in the Weather Center.
And now, the Sandhills' #1 morning show. Mornings with the LeaderMan. Here on Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. And heard and seen around the world at talk973.com.
The best part of waking up is waking up with us.
Good morning, everyone. Time to put on your straitjacket.
What's that?
What is that?
What's that? Because your star is a crazy person.
Things about to get crazy.
This is crazy. You're crazy.
This is crazy. You're mental.
Nuh-uh. I'll show you crazy. These guys are crazy.
You did today on the radio?
It's insane.
The host is an idiot.
And by the way, what is our host?
What is it? Showtime.
Going up, she said, just as we had started to climb together. Looking up, I said,
Good morning, Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM, WEEB. Welcome back to the most listened to program in all of the Sand Hills. It's time once again for Mornings with the LeaderMan. I am Steve Leader Adams, along with the Colonel this morning and J.D. Zumwalt, John Zumwalt. First, the Colonel.
Hey, good morning, Moore County. Hey, get your coffee. Hope you got a big pot, and get yourself a nice apple fritter and have a seat. John's got a special guest and extended Zumwalt zone.
And of course, John.
Good morning, everyone. Looking forward to speaking to these great guests this morning.
All right, don't forget, of course, we are being heard and seen around the world on the live video stream. That's available now at talk973.com or talk1041.com. Top middle of the page is where the link's located on your mobile device. You can get to it with YouTube. Put Mornings with the LeaderMan in the search. If you're just looking at our audio stream on your mobile device, any streaming app will work. Just put WEEB in through that search. And, of course, it's on our website, too, at talk973.com and talk1041.com. Upper right-hand corner of every page has an icon that says On the Air Listen Live. Click that once and you're listening that quick. All right, on the line with us this morning now is our own Congressman from the 8th District. They've redesigned some things around here, but Richard Hudson's the one, Congressman Hudson's the one we have on the line, and of course that covers now in Moore County, I guess from Pine Bluff North is pretty much where it covers, and Pine Bluff South goes to the 9th District. But Richard, you got the bulk of the county here. Good morning to you.
Hey, good morning, LeaderMan. Always great to spend the morning with you.
Well, let's first talk about why you're here. You got several events that you're going to be performing here in Moore County today. One of them, of course, is you're going to be joining U.S. Department of Agriculture Secretary Sonny Perdue over there in West End. First off, you'll be at the Faith Baptist Church at 10 o'clock this morning talking about multi-million-dollar reconnection program announcement. Tell us about that.
Yes, sir. Well, I'm really excited to have the Secretary of Agriculture here in our community. You know, I've tried to always be that common sense voice when I go to Washington to represent us and try to advocate on the issues that matter to us. But I'll also try to bring people here so that we can look them in the eye and they can see firsthand what's going on in our community. And so always excited to have someone, Cabinet Secretary, and particularly Sonny Perdue, the Agriculture Secretary, because agriculture is so important to our county, so important to our region, and it's the number one industry in our state. And the issue we're talking about today, though, more specifically, is rural broadband. And we're going to be announcing a grant that's going to help us expand rural broadband in our community.
Well, Congressman Hudson, this is John Zumwalt. How are you this morning?
Doing great, Colonel. How are you?
Doing well. Is the Secretary right there with you so he can talk?
No, he's I invited him to breakfast, but he had a better offer, I guess. So I'll be catching up with him in about an hour.
Okay. Don't like his cooking, huh?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to take it personally, but those Georgia guys, they eat different. Their barbecue's not like ours, and so maybe that was the issue.
Well, let me ask you a few questions then, if I may.
Sure.
I believe to be very important questions. The first one is about Adam Schiff. He's once again come forward with a whistleblower. And just how long are we going to put up with this in our nation?
Well, I mean, Adam Schiff is a disgrace and frankly should have resigned from Congress. I mean, he lied to the American people over and over and over. You know, he looked in the cameras and said, I have specific evidence that shows collusion between the president and Russia, and then never came forward with the evidence. So either he's hiding evidence and ought to be prosecuted, or he lied. And we all know the truth is he lied, and he continues to lie. The thing is, there's this whole group of politicians in Washington that all they care about is power. They don't care about people. They don't care about anything, frankly, except their own power. And they'll say and do absolutely anything to advance it, and he's just the prime example.
Do you think he'll get traction this time with this attempted investigation which will once again hope to destroy our country?
Well, if there's a crime, maybe, but, there's no crime. I mean, he dragged this country through, more than 2 years of an impeachment in search of a crime, and we got to the end of it, we found out there were a bunch of crimes committed by the Obama administration, but there was absolutely no crimes committed by President Trump. And so, and by the way, while they were distracting the country with that, the president was fighting coronavirus and taking really strong, decisive, early action that they were at the time criticizing. And they even called him a racist when he did a travel ban on China and said he was overreacting. And so, they'll rewrite the narrative however they want, and the national media will cover it up. In fact, I just saw a CNN headline that said, Steve LeaderMan keeping Congressman away from his wife on her birthday. So they're even spending this radio interview attacking Steve LeaderMan, who's just trying to get news to the people. That's the way the national media works.
I knew it was my fault somehow.
Yes, sir.
Let's switch gears a minute. You're very proud of your work with our armed forces, and defense of our country is very important to you. What are your feelings on the internal defense insofar as Antifa and all the groups that are rioting? It's a great threat to our national security. Don't you agree?
Absolutely. We spend a whole lot of blood and treasure, to use a paraphrase, but we send our men and women overseas to defend our freedoms, and they do an incredible job. But if we fall asleep here at home, the forces that want to destroy America are going to do it from within America. And I can tell you that Antifa is an organized, anti-American, anarchist movement that is very well organized, very well funded. And, these riots and things you're seeing in these major cities, these are not, pop-up, organic things. These are organized, very well supplied, very well funded operations. And our government is looking into it. I can tell you that, on the federal level, we are investigating these networks and where's the money coming from and what's the organizational structure of these. They're very flat organizations, so it's very hard to run them down. But this is something that Attorney General Barr is looking into, but this is dangerous. These folks. This is not about a protest. This is not about civil rights. These are anarchists who want to destroy this country.
You are well known for reaching across the aisle and trying to work with everyone that you can work with in Congress to get things done. We've never, I'm 71. I've never seen division like this, never in our country. Are you having just as good a luck as you've always had reaching across the aisle, or is it getting more and more difficult?
Well, I am continuing to have success. It's difficult because the leadership on the Democrat side in Congress, Nancy Pelosi specifically, doesn't want any cooperation. For example, she has forbidden any Democrat doctors serving in Congress to serve in the Doctor Caucus. The Doctor Caucus is a bipartisan caucus of doctors who advocate for bipartisan policies to affect the country. She's told her doctors they can't join the Doc Caucus because she's afraid of the policy ideas that are coming out of that caucus. So that's just one small example. But, just yesterday I had a bipartisan bill pass out of committee dealing with people trying to scam folks on COVID, whether it's over the phone or over the internet. And so that's, it's not the biggest issue in the world, but it's just one issue that I came across this happening and decided to do something about it. And so, got together with a couple of Democrats and we were able to, to get some legislation to give some teeth to the federal government to be able to go after people. So that's just one example just yesterday that we cleared the committee hurdle. So, we'll have it on the floor hopefully next week or the week after. But I'm continuing to solve problems. I'm continuing to focus on what are the things that matter to people here at home. That's why I've got the Secretary of Agriculture here today talking about rural broadband. It's a huge issue. And it's an issue I've been working on for a long time, but a lot of people have finally woken up to it because they realize that, in this day and age, if you don't have internet in your home, your child is at a disadvantage. You don't have access to telehealth. You don't have access to running a small business out of your home. The new haves and have-nots in our society are those who have access to broadband and those who don't.
Well, Congressman, one question I got, and it's quite evident that Nancy Pelosi wants to hurt this country to try to make Trump look bad. And she doesn't care about us, or the people, and they go on vacation all through August while small business needs assistance from their government for situations they did not create. It seems like the Republicans need to come together and speak with a consistent voice out of every congressman or congressperson's repertoire and say that, the Democrats, or especially Nancy, only has one agenda, and that's to hurt this president, doesn't care about helping this country, and that they should be criticized for taking vacation when assistance is needed out here. What do you say?
I agree with you, and we do, but people won't cover it. I'll give you a prime example. If you read the Fayetteville paper today, there's a story that my opponent and a guy named Cal Cunningham, you might have seen some ads on TV, held a press conference over the internet and criticized me for not doing enough for COVID. And that was enough for the Fayetteville paper to write an article about it. My press secretary, I had him tell the reporter, it's ironic that every time Richard's opponent sends out a press release, you're willing to write a story when we begged and pleaded with you to write a story several months ago about the congressman getting 50,000 N95 masks donated to the Cape Fear Valley healthcare system. And so here's a paper that wouldn't write the story about me securing these vital, much-needed masks for the community to deal with COVID, yet they're going to write a story based on a press release and an internet press conference of my opponent criticizing me for not doing enough to deal with COVID. Well, that's just, the hypocrisy is just unbelievable. That's what we deal with as Republicans to get our message out. We rely on the LeaderMan, and we rely on, a few news outlets, but you really got to get out there and pay for your own advertising to tell the truth to the American people.
Well, we have no problem with that either.
Let me get back to Nancy Pelosi. I'm going to ask you a very naive question, but I think there's some folks out here who may not know this answer. I know I don't. You said that Nancy Pelosi has ordered the congressmen who are doctors not to serve in a certain position. She has that authority, huh? She can do that?
Well, she will take away their committee assignments. She'll take away their, special perks. And she rules with an iron fist, and they're afraid of her. She also controls tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars of union money. They make monthly deposits into her account in the six figures, and so the Democrats are afraid of her, and they're afraid to stand up to her. It's very rare that a Democrat will step out of line. We used to have something called a Blue Dog Caucus. We had a really, in my opinion, principled Democrat named Mike McIntyre, who represented North Carolina in this area, who would often buck the party when they were, in his opinion, going the wrong way. We don't have those kind of Democrats anymore. They're all pretty much in line with the speaker, and it's a shame. I think we've got a responsibility to the people we represent first, and the party somewhere down the line in order of priority. But Pelosi is she rules the roost. Part of it's because of all this union money, and that also explains a lot of the policy positions she puts forth. I've been criticized by my opponent for not voting for Pelosi's $3 trillion boondoggle COVID bill that she passed a month ago. But that bill gave direct payments to illegal immigrants. It called for blanket release of federal prisoners. It had taxpayer-funded money going to bail out union pensions around the country, and completely overhauled our election laws. This bill had nothing to do with COVID. It's all about Nancy Pelosi and her priorities, and her number one priority is Nancy Pelosi's power, and it's a real shame.
Well, she has at least one Democrat who will stand up against her. A despicable person, a despicable Democrat, one that none of us like or trust or think anything of, and that is AOC. But she seems to have a lot of power and a lot of authority and a lot of push and sway, and has definitely changed the entire Democrat Party. How do you explain something like that?
Well, you're talking about Joe Biden's economic advisor. AOC. She has the power of, she's got support from the internet and from this Act Blue donors around the country. I think someday we're going to find out there's a lot of illegal money in that process. But she has dragged the party to the left, and she is the one person that Nancy Pelosi is afraid of, because if if the progressives pull their support from Pelosi, she loses power, and so she's had to cater to AOC and the squad. And I mean, it's ironic that Nancy Pelosi is actually a moderate now in the Democrat Party because of people like the squad and like AOC. And, you know, Bernie Sanders now is basically the domestic policy advisor to President Biden if he gets elected. I mean, you know, Beto O'Rourke is his Second Amendment expert, according to Joe Biden. I mean, you know, these folks, they are not like your father's Democrats. They are, you know, these folks are as far left as it gets. And the ideas they're advancing not only are radical, but they're dangerous for our country. I mean, they will absolutely cripple our economy. They will absolutely erode our individual freedoms. I mean, it's scary to think about the life that my 5-year-old son will grow up into if these folks get their hands on all the levers of power.
It's very scary. But, you know, even more worrisome to us in Moore County, very Republican, very conservative county, are the rhinos. And I would not ask you to say anything speak ill of your colleagues, but those are the ones who make us angry. The Nancy Pelosi's and AOC's, we know what they are. But when we elect someone in this nation to be a Republican, we expect them to act like one. Is it frustrating to you to see the lack of, sometimes by some folks in the Republican Party, the lack of support for our president?
Well, you know, right now I think we're as unified as we've ever been. You know, early on, I was frustrated by that. You know, there's been times where I've disagreed with the president. And there's been, I can remember one time in particular having to do with the decision he made in foreign policy that impacted my constituents right next door here in Fort Bragg, where I was furious at this guy. I mean, I was so mad at the president. You had to peel me off the walls. But instead of jumping on Twitter or calling into CNN, I called the president and I asked him, can I come over and talk to you? And I sat down and talked to him about it and why I was so upset and why it was, you know, threatening my constituents. And he listened to me. And, you know, overall he and I disagree about, you know, whether we ought to withdraw all our troops and at what time and that sort of thing. But, you know, I really felt like he listened to me. And that's, to me, is a lot more effective than jumping on CNN and criticizing him and making myself feel good for 5 minutes. So, you know, I think that's the responsibility you have, you know, when you're in a position like mine, is you support the president where you can, and when you disagree with him, you tell him. And if he's doing something that hurts the country or hurts your constituents and you can't resolve it with him, then at that point maybe you do go public, and maybe you do have a public fight with him. But I have to say, you know, this president, his policies and the positions he's taken have been really good for us and good for this country. I mean, we've had the greatest economy in our lifetimes, and it's even survived this COVID gut punch that the whole world has taken. I mean, our economy has remained fairly strong through this entire COVID shutdown. And we shut down the entire economy. And look, there are people out there, small businesses, who are still hurting. A lot of it has to do with our governor who refuses to reopen our state. There are still people hurting, but the fundamentals of our government, of our economy, are strong because of the policies of this president, and we're going to come out of this stronger than ever. And so, you know, I believe the president's earned our support.
I want to remind everybody we're talking with Congressman Richard Hudson from the 8th District in North Carolina, which includes in Moore County everything north of Pine Bluff, pretty much. And also, he's going to be in town today with U.S. Secretary of Agriculture, Sonny Perdue. They're going to be over at the First Baptist Church in Carthage, on Carthage Road in West End, at 10 o'clock this morning, talking about the Reconnect program, which includes broadband. And then they're going to be touring the Bird Family Farm at 1 o'clock this afternoon in Bun Level, North Carolina.
Congressman, you said that you were angry with the president, and rather than go to CNN, by the way, you know they would have loved to have interviewed you there.
Sure.
With that. But you picked up the phone and you called the president. Well, when we get angry at some of his policies, we can't pick up the phone and call him. I know I can't.
Sure you can.
But
you pick up the phone and call me.
That's my next point. We need a congressman that we can pick up the phone and talk to, and you've been that man so far. And I'm assuming that we can depend upon you to continue to be that Republican conservative that we can call. And I hope I'm hoping that you will assure the folks listening that will continue to be the case, sir.
Oh, absolutely. You know, I don't think I can do my job if I'm not in the community regularly, if I'm not in touch with you. If I don't know you and you don't know me, how can I go be your representative? And so I spend a lot of time in the community. I put a lot of effort into making sure that I'm accessible, whether it's by people going to my website, hudson.house.gov, where you can send me a direct email, or if you call our office, you know, we will get right back to you if we don't answer the phone the first time you call. Because, you know, that is my number one job, is to be the representative of the people of this district. And look, you know, I made a promise the first time I ran for office. I said, you may not always agree with me, but you will always know where I stand. And that's the promise I'll make to you, is, you know, I don't take polls to determine policy positions. I have very deep felt convictions, and I try to make the best decisions I can make based on the information before me, and with the input I get from constituents. And but at the end of the day, you know, you deserve to know where I stand, and we're always here for you. And so, you know, that's why we have an office, you know, right here in Moore County. You know, and you can reach out to us anytime. We have an office over in Fayetteville, Concord, and in Albemarle. So we, you know, try to be close to the folks as physically as we can be, and you can call us anytime, and we're here for you.
If you said it, I missed it. Can you tell everyone where your office is in Moore County, and how difficult is it to just get over there and get a hold of someone?
Well, we're actually over at the community college, and so you know, it's very easy. I can give out the phone number as well. It's on the website at hudson.house.gov, but the local phone number is 910-246-5374. And you know, we'd love to hear from you anytime, and anytime we can help you with a federal government problem, or anytime you've got input from me, I'd love to hear from you. Again, you can send me a direct email from the website as well, hudson.house.gov, and you know, they have changed these congressional maps, so if you live south of Pine Bluff, you may not be able to vote for me, but I'm still your congressman until January 3rd, and I take that very seriously. And I told my staff, you know, I don't want you to look at the new map. I want you to look at the old map, because those are the people that elected me, and those are the people we serve. And so, as far as I'm concerned, I still represent this whole county, and I take that very seriously. And I'm very excited to have Secretary Perdue with us today. I really didn't talk as much about his background, but you know, he is the former governor of Georgia, was an incredible leader in that state, and I think he's doing a terrific job as our Secretary of Agriculture. And he's someone who really understands what our men and women in agriculture and agribusiness are dealing with, and has just been a leader, particularly during this COVID crisis, which has really hit agriculture hard as well. So we're just thrilled to have him with us, and thrilled that he's the leader that he is.
Well, he has an amazing resume. I couldn't begin to list the whole thing. In fact, he was a veterinarian, if I read that right.
That's right. Yeah.
He was also a veterinarian, if I read that right. Unless he was a vegetarian, unless I got that completely wrong. But
I can assure you from firsthand experience that he is not a vegetarian.
Well, I'm going to keep going here, because we don't get to talk to you as often as we'd like. You know, you mentioned the economic problems that lots of folks are struggling, and we're in a service economy here, and you know, this has hit a lot of people hard. Dan Forrest has promised to open up if he's elected governor. We've got to get our state open again. People are hurting, but you know, Congressman, it's not just, and I don't say just as lightly, it's not just the economy that's hurting people. It's their lack of social interaction, of not being able to go out. People who are contemplating and committing suicide or homicide or child abuse, spouse abuse, drinking, drug addiction, all these things when people are cooped up and can't go out. Do you see this across the U.S.? Are your colleagues reporting this kind of thing, or just?
Absolutely, and you know, our governor, in my opinion, has done the state a real disservice by not reopening. You know, we can safely reopen this economy. Other states have shown that. Other countries have shown that. And if you look at the rate of incidence of COVID the states that have reopened versus the ones that haven't, there is no difference. There's really no difference in statistics. And the more we've learned about this virus, the more we know that it doesn't impact young people, that, the mortality rate we were seeing in March of something like 32% is now down to about 5% because we've learned how to treat this. And we've got therapeutics coming on the market now. We've got several out there, and we've got more on the way in a matter of days and weeks. We are getting better and better at treating it, and we're smarter. We know how to prevent the spread of it by simply wearing a mask, social distance, washing your hands, just all the things that the experts tell us. But what I'm really concerned about is kids not being in school. The U.S. Surgeon General said that he believes the damage being done by keeping kids out of school and not having access to the things you mentioned. A lot of times we catch child abuse and malnutrition and hearing problems and vision problems, and all these issues are caught in the school system and dealt with. And so these kids out of school, we're missing that. But also just the social interaction, the impact on the mental health of our children. I went to a school in Raleigh with the vice president a couple weeks ago, and we heard from one of the parents who said her daughter, elementary school daughter, had just been depressed and had been very agitated and just wasn't herself. And after one day back at school, she was happy and back to her normal personality because she was around her friends again. And it's just the psychological impact of being isolated and being kept out of school is also harmful. What the Surgeon General says is it's equally or more dangerous to keep them out of school than COVID, than the risk of COVID. And so, and the Centers for Disease Control has said from the beginning that we shouldn't shut down schools. They've never called for that. They said kids ought to be in school, but we ought to be taking precautions. And by the way, when you got most families with two working parents, this is, it's hard for both parents to go back to work when the kid's at home doing distance learning. So we got to get the kids back to school safely. We've got to reopen the economy safely and get back to our lives. And, that's where I stand on it.
I think that most people agree with you. I think we're starting to live in an atmosphere of fear. I want to say a word about Democrats. You mentioned that the Democrat Party is not the Democrat Party of my father, and that is so true. And I personally get quite a bit of criticism, which I'm happy to take, because of the things that I say about Democrats. But, Congressman, they are the pro-abortion party. They want to open our borders, and on and on. Look, I'm not going to keep going because we've only got a minute left. I want to give you the whole minute to say whatever you'd like. Please tell the Agriculture Commission we're glad to have him here, and tell Billy hello for me, will you? And also, let's just hear what you've got to say for the last remaining seconds.
Well, I appreciate that. And look, there's a difference between a Washington Democrat and a Moore County Democrat. And the problem is the Washington Democrats have completely moved to the left, and the radical ideas that they're pushing will destroy this country. They will destroy the economy. They will put people out of work. They will make it harder to get medicines that we need. I mean, we have to fight them tooth and nail, and they're just different from the Democrat who lives here, who's working hard, trying to take care of their family. And so I welcome Democrats to support our campaign, and I'll continue to try to work with Democrats in Washington when I can. And I've found that you could disagree with somebody 90% of the time, but I'll take that 10% and run with it. And so I appreciate the opportunity to be with y'all this morning, though, and appreciate y'all helping spread the good news.
All right, have a good day.
All right, thank you, Congressman. Sure. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, LeaderMan, thank you.
All right, so it goes for this Thursday. Have yourself a great, safe day. We'll see you back bright and early tomorrow, 7 to 9 for TSIF. Thanks, Steve. It's Friday. In the meantime, be sure to support all the mom and pop businesses you hear on WEEB, because they're the backbone of our economy here in Moore County. Give them first crack at your spending dollars, and let's create our own comeback right here in Moore County. And don't forget also that millions of Americans have fought and they have died to give and protect the freedoms that you get to enjoy today. So live today worthy of their and their family's sacrifice. I'm Steve Leader Adams, and the LeaderMan and Nick and Colt the dog will all see you this afternoon at 2 at the Hot Humid Dog Park.